this evening to take care of some more of the county business. Good to see everybody out this evening, and we're gonna move forward and see if we can go ahead and get this taken care of. We're gonna ask Supervisor Carver, if you don't mind, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Let's pray. Father, we just thank you for this opportunity to join this afternoon and handle the county's county business, Lord. Let us just be fair in our speech and speak with respect and dignity and honor, Lord. Just thank you for the opportunity to serve in this capacity, and thank you for our department heads and all of our county employees and our workers. Lord, just again, thank you for this time to join together and just pray for discernment and wisdom. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thanks, Supervisor Carver. Next on the agenda, we have our citizens' comment period. Anybody welcome to come and speak to the board for up to 3 minutes. Seeing we have none, next on the agenda, we've got Captain Ward with the JAG grant.
Yes, sir. Sheriff's Department's asking to apply for the JAG grant for FY25. It's a 75% reimbursement grant. We're going to be trying to get some uniforms with it.
Make a motion to approve the application.
It's been moved by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams, to allow Sheriff Department and Captain Ward to apply for the JAG grant. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Did you? Are you gonna do?
I can do, Brett.
Okay.
Sheriff's Department's also requesting to enter into an agreement to accept the Homeland Security grant. It's a 100% grant. It's going to purchase 5 mobile radios for a total of $37,500.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we've got our tax assessor collector, Ms. Johanna Walker.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here to, for my personal property contract. It's only for a year. There were no changes. Everything will still stay the same.
I looked over it earlier today. It's the same time.
Move approval.
Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay. And while you're here,
Yes, sir.
the contract, have we already approved this? We approved that last time, didn't we?
Yes, I sent, well, it was one for the real property.
The real property.
So now this is for my personal property, and this is only for 1 year, and my real property was for 4 years. I went to a contract with him for 4 years.
So you're good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You need that signed?
You signed it, everybody got one.
I mean, but don't you need it, this the new contract?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, next on the agenda, we have our Chancellor Clerk, Ms. Livingston.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Okay, next on the agenda, we've got our administration, county business. We've got some payroll changes coming from our Sheriff Department.
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve the payroll change.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams, that we approve the payroll changes. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Okay. All right, next, we need to set a deadline date for the submittal of our county administration applications and resumes. Did everybody have an opportunity to look over the announcement?
I did, and I do want to make.
Okay.
I asked if we could update this a little bit.
Okay.
If we could add in here where, computer skills.
Okay.
On there, Word, Excel, and if they have any prior knowledge of the,
there anything else, any other changes?
This, job responsibilities due to our system government, is this pulled from like the MAS website, or do we draft this? I mean, it looked good, I'm just asking where we got this from.
This is one that was drafted, I think it's been, you know, yeah, we used
It's like
in the past.
No, it looked really good, I didn't know.
Years ago.
It's the same, has MAS got anything we can pull from them that might assist us, or is it?
It look like this right here came from.
Yeah, most of
I
it
think
is
the only
it's
thing
a
that
combination of
Yeah.
everything, information from everything that just, they should put into one application. But I don't know what they would use.
No,
I
I like
just wanna
it.
add the computer stuff now.
I started like, yeah,
You know, moving forward.
getting called exactly, and that's such a broad context of what it is, so I haven't seen it, I was wondering, it looks like it almost came out of the county government from Mississippi Workforce or something, but it's good, no, I like it.
And, this is the announcement, but the last two pages will actually be posted on the website if they want any more of that detailed information. But,
And where all are we gonna post this? Like,
it will be posted in both Star Daily and Dispatch, but it'll also be posted on the website, I think on the MAS,
Yeah, you post it on MAS, and also you can post it to the NACO website.
yeah, NACO website, and just, you know, yeah.
Did you post to MississippiJobs.gov or anything with the state job board, or just?
But we never done it with Michigan, I don't know what the process is. All of it just required just a submittal of whether there's a fee or anything like that. But I know with MAS, I'm sure there's no fee, because they advertise the magazine, and we'll check with NACO. Check.
Well, thanks for that specialized job description, you might, you know, individuals that do that for a living, have many years of CAO, need to understand that job announcement, I don't know how to get that to them.
If you wanna do Indeed.com, monster job.
You might get much.
Commercial dispatch, word of mouth, just,
everywhere.
everywhere, yeah. So with the one change, can we go ahead and set a deadline date?
Do we
To
just
have
let it
received?
run at least 30 days for
That'd be fine.
people to get their stuff in?
So you're talking about having it, what's the date, 30 days from this?
30 days from the time it hit.
From the time it get posted.
Yeah, from the time it's posted. So whatever date is posted, it goes to the newspapers, we'll set 30 days from that date.
So it's due somewhere by the end of September 3rd.
Yeah, let's say-
October 1st,
Yeah, I would say,
October 1st.
let's make the day, we have them before the 7th, when we meet on the 7th, before the 1st.
1st of October.
Yeah, then we can consider them on the 7th if we need to.
That'll work.
They give you 30 days.
Yeah,
So October 1st.
that's your motion?
That's my motion. Make sure we, motion we post the job, description with an October 1st deadline.
Okay. Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Okay? We need to run a couple of ads for our, notice for our public hearing, for our budget hearing. We need to run one, I think, September
September
5th and, September 9th or 10th. And then have the, public hearing September 12th.
Make a motion, we accept the recommendation.
Okay, it's been moved by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little, that we run the notice for our public hearing on our budget, for our budget, September 5th and September 9th. And hold a public hearing on September 12th. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
First time we're gonna do a hearing, the public hearing on the.
Now, you,
In your packet, you've got a couple of invoices from Pritchard Engineering. One of them is for $295. We need a board order approving to pay that one.
make a motion.
It's moved by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Motion passes unanimously. The second one is one we've already approved, but, Miss, Morgantown, but Miss Deanna said we need to determine which budget it comes from,
Where y'all paying it out of?
where we're paying it out of.
This is road, yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
pay it out of state aid fund?
I just wanna know where to pay it from.
I mean, that's state aid bridge, right?
That's gonna come out of state aid funds.
Okay.
Okay. So we're motion to pay it out of state aid funds. Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Frager.
Question. Is that
Discussion.
state aid bridge fund? That state aid road fund has already been allocated.
Bridge.
No,
Bridge.
state
Uh,
aid bridge fund.
I guess we've got Mr. Pritchard back here. Where would you recommend that this invoice be paid from?
That invoice is for the preliminary work pending, hopefully, the ERBR grant.
Okay,
The
so,
hope is we will get the county reimbursed for those funds when we have funding for the project. Right now, it doesn't have a state aid money.
okay, so we need to pay it out of county funds and then get reimbursed.
That's correct.
Okay, so you need to make amendment to the motion to pay it out of county funding. Second, any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Who was the first and second one?
Little and China,
And it's come out of
county,
county funds.
Okay, I think that's all we've got under administration. So now we'll get ready to enter into our budget workshop. And as you all come up and present to the board, would you state your name and your department? So Kate can hear it. She asked me if I would ask you all to speak up, state your name and your department so she can get accurate information. That being said, I don't guess we have a particular order. We'll just start with, we'll start with Ms. Livingston.
If you look at my budget, and the only thing that I have asked for an increase on is for my, computer servers. Yeah, but it's like $20,000. It's roughly about 18,000, and I think I asked for 20,000. Because they said that my server, if it is fixing to go out, and if it goes out, then we're in trouble.
Tell us about the liability of that server going out, and what all tied to it.
All of the land records and delinquent taxes and everything. Everything that we do in my office, it goes to that server.
Is it dated already?
Yes.
We're not approving anything.
No, yeah, and I was just getting ready to clarify that.
Yeah.
Understand, today, what we're doing is receiving requests and, hearing from you all, as to why you are making this request. Once we receive all of our requests, then we'll go back and start to see what money we have to fund these requests. So today is just actually receiving your request and, hearing you justify your request. So we've heard from our Chancellor's clerk. I see Molly here. Do you want to come up and speak to us from youth court, right?
Yes, sir, Union County Court.
Union County Court.
Don't know that I've got a copy of what it was. I believe they have it. Okay, so you guys have a copy of what we have requested for this year. There have, as far as the youth court side, there have been some statutory changes that require us to have additional attorneys present for certain types of hearings. We have to have hearings quicker in youth court now, depending on the age of the child. And so those are some of the reasons that we have requested for additional money on the youth court side. I'm not sure which version. There are some additional funds that are in the youth court grant that are in the youth court budget, which is titled juvenile court budget, that are reimbursable by grant funds. We have 2 grants right now that are 100% reimbursable, both roughly about $30,000. We have an extension that should be granted for our grant from last year to allow us to finish utilizing those funds, and we were awarded a new grant this year for $30,000. We also get money from the state that is reimbursable for part of our operating costs. So some of those numbers, I know when Judge Turner turned it in, she tried to differentiate that so that you were aware of what is actually coming back into the budget. It has to be there because it has to be paid out and then it's reimbursable 100% on that. Specific questions? For juveniles, I would have to double check her numbers, and I apologize, she's not here. We've been to 2 budget meetings so far. Any specific numbers, I would,
That 68,000 is reimbursable.
68,000 is 100% reimbursable, and then, like I said, that's including.
It's included in that 116.
In the 116.
So 68,000, that 116 is reimbursed. 100% will receive that. That's that.
Yeah.
The new money, how much are you talking?
That sounds about right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask too, as a new member, anybody, y'all hear anything, that I'm missing? I'm gonna ask a lot of questions, but I want y'all to speak up if you hear something that, in the obvious that I don't know, or anybody at the table.
Any other questions for Molly?
I thought it was something also with the increase in services that
For the juvenile court?
Yeah.
It is, I guess, an expansion of services is what we should be giving. So are you specifically talking about the services that we provide?
Yeah.
As far as court goes, we're kind of limited with court, but we do provide parent attorneys to those parents who are coming before us in child protection cases that assist the parents in the legal process. The children have an attorney and the guardian ad litem, and should their interests diverge from what the guardian ad litem feels is in their best interest, then we have to appoint a separate attorney to represent that child's specific interests. So now that we are able to appoint parent attorneys, it is assisting the parents with the legal process. It's making the process go faster. It is allowing the parents to understand what specifically is required of them, so that they know what the end goal is, which is ultimately reunification in 99.9% of all of our CPS cases. In the delinquency cases, those, anytime a juvenile comes into our court and is charged, is alleged to have committed an act, they get assigned an attorney immediately. That attorney represents them through the entire court process. There are no parent attorneys in that instance. And then with that, the 2 grants that we have on the delinquency side assist with the alternatives to detention. Instead of requesting detention time for some of these juveniles who've committed acts, studies show that once a child enters a juvenile detention facility, they are far more likely to enter a jail as an adult in the future. So these grants allow us with proper supervision to allow the children to be released home to a supervised parent with a GPS ankle monitor that we monitor through the sheriff's office. And then truancy, our educational neglect and truancy cases, we've partnered with the schools, we've met with them, we're really focusing on those cases as well. A child has to miss 12 days unexcused before the case comes into court, and that is usually our first look into what's going on with the family. Is it an undiagnosed learning disability? We've partnered with Mississippi State Psychology Department. We have people from the Extension Stardust with TBRI. So when they come in, we are providing resources and services to them. We have good communication with the Discovery Center. They're providing services. They've come up with a new program that will help families going through the court process, classes, educational, kind of a support group to help them along with it, so that we can get all the families the resources that they need. So we are offering, I guess, additional services. Yes, we do have a greater legal representation for the parents and the kids coming through the court now.
That's what I had in mind.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Any other questions, or was there any question on the county court side? Because our court is branched into two separate kind of divisions, two separate budgets. We have county court, and then we have the juvenile court. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tax assessor collector. Ms. Joanna Walker.
Okay, being that I am with this, nothing basically changed, but I will say this, with the postage in my advertisement, I basically saved $60,000 using one newspaper, company instead of the other. One was trying to charge me $60,000 to run it for my land sale for 2 consecutive weeks, which I'm in the middle of my land sale and I found someone cheaper to do it. The only thing that I know I went up on is, my postage, my legal advertisement, postage and legal advertisement for my appraisal office and my tax office, and that's about it. And I just, I need to make a request for a laptop and a monitor. As I said, I'm in the middle of my land sale, so I'm monitoring from my cell phone, and they're putting it on hold until I get back in my office.
What does she need to do to get a laptop?
And a monitor.
Just, does the board need to approve it and do a PO?
For me to record me. Okay.
Okay, all right, yeah, just.
She had it in her budget, so I have to listen to it. Thank you.
Good deal. So your request is only $33,700?
Basically, yes, sir.
You might be new, but you're starting off right. Well, this, thank you so much. Any questions for our tax assessor collector?
Please, somebody have some questions for me.
Save somebody, that's why.
I saved somebody.
Save somebody.
Big time.
Oh, no.
Oh, and then another thing is the tax sale and the contract that I just signed with, the collection agency. That's saving on so many things, the manpower, the time, and hopefully getting the line a little shorter downstairs, with personal property and home, and postage, and paper and ink. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I got a question. Has October County online tax sales just been going on for the last year or so? Have y'all not, I used to buy taxes, no?
It's about the third year.
Yeah, people have been, that's still have been 15, 18%.
And it's making the county money also because
Yes,
the
sir.
other bids go to.
Yes, sir.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Is every county in the state online now? I imagine.
Not every county.
Not all, but
No.
most of the larger counties.
Yeah, and some counties, they still gather in the courtroom, and some of them have them in April, and a lot of them have them in August. So, we're making changes in Oktibbeha County.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for our tax assessor collector? If not, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Circuit clerk. Anybody here for my circuit clerk? I'll just go down the list. Superintendent of Education. Buildings, buildings and grounds.
That's not a whole large increase, keep that the same.
Is that a salary on county administrator? Is that what that is?
No, that's not the salary.
That was salary increases, I think, right? County administrator.
That was,
Just operating costs for that.
Was that
no,
all?
that's not the salary. That's just-
Okay, I'm just gonna sit up here and let's go. over
Okay,
this a little
all right.
smoothly. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, we can start from the beginning. So the board of supervisors, that item department number 100, there's a slight increase, but everything is included in that. Every department besides the special funds, like the road department, volunteer fire. And we've also included, if you guys approve, 3% raise for the county. That's where that increase comes from.
How much is that total? The 3% raise, I mean, is that
Well,
roughly
the-
about
the-
1,001 there?
yeah, so when we do the 3% raise, we have to also consider fringe benefits PERS. So I can't give you the exact number off the top of my head.
How much did y'all say round about this?
Just for pay, we
300.
increased that by 25,000. That's just that particular department. Overall,
Yeah, overall.
You got state retirement
Yeah.
matching, it's going already at 17.9, it'll go to 18.4 on next July. So you'll have 9 months at 17.9, that averages out to 18.03. So you're gonna have that, and Social Security is still at the 7.65 for that, Medicare. You had, let's see.
PERS with 0.5% increase because they're increasing to 2%. You're asking for the overall total, that would be all departments, including the road department. I don't know that off the top of my head. Once Michelle does
You do
payroll,
department by department.
we do,
Yeah.
and once she finishes payroll, then we'll get an accurate account for that, because we have to base it off of the current employees.
You sent that to me.
But does this bottom number take care of that?
Yes,
That's just a recommendation of 3%.
this is just a
COLA.
recommendation.
Yeah.
Y'all can go up to 7% if you like. We'll put it in.
We'll go case by case.
Okay.
A big portion of this was 50,000 extra in your property and casualty insurance, because, the way this is done, you look at how much you've used through the end of May, and you try to project, using those totals, so that's going up. We're thinking that that's 50,000 of it, under the board of supervisors on the property and casualty. And that's the trend that I've been seeing in all my counties, really, so. That's undergone.
Supervisor Carver, I will tell you that the Chancery Clerk's employees are not added in this because the county doesn't pay them.
Chancery.
Chancery pays them.
Chancery,
And we'll cover a lot of this in detail when we start going through the budget.
We're gonna do that another day in detail. That's not the day, we're just getting big budget requests.
Yeah, today we just getting requests, but once we start going through this budget as to, what, then we'll get into
That's
detail
fine.
with the numbers.
That's fine. Today, just, as we're doing, first time doing it different. Just tell me what we're doing today.
Yeah, we just sort of receiving requests, and talking a little bit about it, but we'll sit back down and they'll go over this line item by line item and get detail on as to, what we need to do. Okay, go ahead, Dee.
If you look in your packet, some of that I know Supervisor Howard mentioned, the education at 4,000. If you look in your packet, there are grants that we allocate each year, or they ask for each year, and we did give you this form with everything behind it. So that will explain, everything that all the other entities are asking for, the amounts and things like that.
Typically, just like on your special grants, subsidies and allocations, do we typically just hold the line on those special requests, or do any of them fluctuate? Like I know the hospital normally will, and the library normally will fluctuate, increase a little bit, but for the rest of them, do we more or less? Basically, my question is, any state laws that inhibit us from just holding the line on this? So it's all discretionary.
Basically, I see maybe a couple, 2 little increase in the income, it's still pretty much about the same.
The horse park's gonna stay, it's always been 50,000.
I think it was 40. I think.
It was 40.
It was 40, they're
Yeah,
actually
it's 50.
actually 41 to be exact. Would you like a copy of 23, 24 to compare 24, 25?
When we get to this. Has anything gone up?
Yeah, we have one up, Boys Hill Club request, you see, I think Gail King, Associated Educated Brick File, that's the same. And I think the aging program is the same. I see we got an increase in that for something to the PDD, that they're asking for just.
Yeah, that's,
And Supervisor Little did speak with the airport. We thought that in March you guys agreed to give them that 168. We were assuming that was annually, but it's not, it's 50,000, so they're asking for 50. So that's a change that's on this day. We don't have time to make.
And that 50,000 is a one-time.
One time.
this one was left out of there, it was a request, but at the advisory council, meeting, there were 49 seniors that were on the waiting list, and y'all said to put that in there. And so, that's the reason you've got an updated one of these that's, a little bit darker shaded that I handed out separately. Because, this is the letter, just how much that was, it would be about $51,000.
$4.09 a meal or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the frozen
I
meal.
do math, and I didn't come up with 51, I come up with about 40-something.
I've got a letter here, if y'all want.
Yeah,
It's in there.
So we got that.
Okay. Everything else is the same as the Juneteenth committee, we need to get some local private for that. And probably won't be approved until at the end of the session next year, so it'll probably be, we won't be able to give it to probably the next week. So we need to get this started to give it next session.
Okay.
So,
If we could get them to get the committee, whoever can contact that, I think we can get some information on it.
Okay.
That's the one that was sitting on.
Are you as long as it's half, you know?
I'll let my make myself
And this will go with once we approve the budget then. Okay.
Everything else is pretty much the same.
Okay, those seniors were accounting for 5 meals a week.
There's 49 of them that were on the waiting list, and this will take care of that. That's right.
Let me ask you this, if this might work better. Can we go ahead and hear from the department heads that's here, and then we'll start to go, because they might have to go ahead and leave. Can we leave, would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Let's hear from the department heads. Ms. Campanella.
So I have in my packet, but I don't really have, the only increase that I asked for, just besides normal operational costs, was salary increases for our staff. We're having a hard time keeping people and then attracting new people, which I think everybody is, but we done a salary study for the 10 counties in our district, and we were one of the lowest paid with the duties that we do. So that's the only really big ask that I have.
That's 234.
234. Well, I think it may be, will it be both? Okay. Okay, good.
Any questions for Ms. Campanella?
And you still have grants and stuff that are coming in.
Yes, and so I left.
There's specific things, right?
Yes, so we have that EMPG grant that we get every year. That's about 40,000, I think, that we get that every year. And then my normal, grants that I apply for. I left those budget lines the same. Last year we did amend those budget lines for those grants, so if we do get approval, that money will already be there. So that, I did no change in that. But I won't know if those are approved till October.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. 234. 234.
And you just don't have grants, so you don't have to
Any
So
other
that is
questions?
yes, that's what, thank you.
Thank you. We got our fire coordinator, Mr. Patrick Lindley.
Good afternoon. Patrick Warner.
Warner.
Warner. I'm sorry, I apologize. I guess I do.
Well, basically, I'm asking for the same budget request that I've had the last couple of years. I did not increase my budget any at all. And, all I did was move a couple line items around, change a little bit of dollars here and there. But it's the same budget request, and you should have a copy of all line items, everything that I did.
You have some good ideas. I read that budget.
We're gonna
Well,
move,
good idea.
we are moving the fire department forward here in Ogden County, and we are going to be the best, one of the best fire departments in the state. We keep heading in that direction.
Any other questions for our fire coordinator?
And you got some grant money coming back, you know?
I do, we do have some grants coming back. I don't count those in my budget, so my budget request does not have any grant money in there. I kind of play that as house money, anything that we get grants towards, because you never know if you're gonna get them or not. So if we do get a grant, that's just icing on the cake. So I do have some money coming back, we just have not received it yet, but it is approved.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Warren.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir. Take care.
We got our road manager, Mr. Victor Collins.
Y'all have a separate handout.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right. It is, I do have some requests in my budget, Red End Road. Road employee, we requested $100,000 additional funding in that. And, that is to the fact that we wanna hire additional people if, we go through with the whole 9 yards as far as, dealing with trees and stuff like that. I think, let's see. Also, I believe we asked for a little bit of increase in uniform rental. We're in close on that. And bridge lumber, we asked for additional $2,000 in that. Also 915, additional funding in vehicles. And that's because, we wanna, if approved, we wanna try to work on, getting a truck to a budget truck, and hopefully a limb truck to assist in removing this debris that we take down on the roads. And that's what we have in the bridge. Okay, and on in road in 581 contractual services, we asked for a little bit of increase in that, and that if we still using contractual service for first tree cutting, 2, and then we also use them in our spraying. And so to stay in budget on that, that's why we asked for an increase there. We asked for a little bit of increase in 681 for repair and replacement parts. And as you know, parts are expensive. The cost of them are on the rise. And so we're trying to stay in compliance there. And just general supplies. We asked for about a $4,000 increase there. And down in 911, that was something I think we talked about, the whole board did, was increasing our funding for our county road building. And that's, we asked for an increase there. also, vehicles, in that, and road equipment. And basically, all of this falls hand in hand, one goes with the other. If there's any questions, I'll read it down.
About $500,000 more.
A little bit more than that. Seven. And our biggest cost is, construction in progress.
Mr. Collins, how much equipment do you have down there that you need to try to sell?
We've got quite a bit. We actually got 3 graders that's going to sell. And we got some equipment that we're waiting to replace. We're gonna sell a couple of trucks out of that. We got, just some older trucks that we're gonna take off out of there that really know they've gotten to the point they're unusable or they in bad disarray. So we got quite a few pieces of equipment that we're gonna move. We got some actually is at sale now to be sold. I think it goes off in September.
So do you think the sale of that equipment will offset some of this budget request?
Some of it, yeah. Some of it. Some of it.
I just wanted to know when we start going through.
Yeah, some of it will, because we got one motor grader that we actually didn't get when we bought those, and we wanna actually try to, some of that what we're selling, we wanna try to bring that one on.
Any other questions for our road manager? If not, we appreciate you.
All right.
Let me ask the road manager to make a motion to, he's got some things that are.
Yeah, but I don't have that address with me. I thought I did.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll do that on the
I was just trying
next
to-
board meeting.
We got our sheriff,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sheriff Phelps.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'll try to make it quick. I know y'all been having a busy day today.
Yeah, we have. But we're here to serve people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First off, I want to start out. I need some extra deputies. We've got ourselves caught several times in a bad situation, not having enough guys out on the street. I'm asking for 5 deputy positions for the sheriff's office. That would put us up to 35 deputies. Maurice and I would make 37. That would give us 6 deputies per shift to run this county, which is 500 something square miles of territory. Just give you just a little research. I just called around, but like MSUPD, they're sitting at 36 sworn deputies, or sworn officers now for MSU. I called Lowndes County, they got 40 deputies. I called up to Lafayette County in Oxford, they got 50 deputies at their spot, and their population is 3,000 more than us. I could probably use more, but I'm just asking for 5 now, because I know money don't grow on the tree. I know y'all got a tough job ahead of you to try to make everyone happy. But I think this is something that Octavia County really needs, and it's also going to be safety for the people of this county and safety for the officers of this county out here working the roads. And also on the deputy side, I'm asking, like for our investigators, we go on call a week at a time for the investigators. They've never had an on-call pay. And the on-call pay, I'm just asking for $200 a week while they on call is $10,400 a year total. Because they can't go out of town, they can't really leave home. They got to be right by their phone and be ready to go. And I think that's something that would be really needed for these deputies, is having to stay home and take call. On line item 200-404, I think Dee and I talked on this. I think we got it straightened out. It was just a line item for the personnel on the payroll. Is that right? I want to get an overtime, line item 415. I'm asking, we have just $10,000 now for the deputies when they come out to court. I'm asking to move it up to $60,000, and that's where I could, on violent crimes, on game weekends, on certain situations when we're outnumbered, we can call people in and they can get paid for it instead of having to put it towards comp time. I'm not saying I could use it all, and I might be here a year from now saying I need more, but I think that's something that's really needed, because when it gets bad out there, it gets bad, and I can pick up that phone and call people in, and I think they should be paid when they come in.
The way your staffing is, you only have X amount of people per
shift.
Why can't you on game day pull other people in?
Well, that's what I can do. I can't pull them in if I had the money to pay them right now. I'd have to give them comp time.
I guess I'm asking, why can't you do that already? Why is it?
The policy in the past has been that we didn't do that. And to be honest with you, we've had some problems with legal issues, and I fully support what the sheriff is asking for. This will save us money in the long run.
You're on a hard line per shift number, and that's it. It's always the same. And this is the only way you can get overtime on game days is through the deputy court system.
Well, if they have to go to court, it could be their day off, or if they're working, if they work a night shift and they have justice court, just like tonight, we got guys coming in from 6 to 6 on Monday night, getting off 6 in the morning. They got justice court in the morning at 10 o'clock. We'd have to send them home early, because I don't want them working all the way, going home for 2 hours and get a nap. Or their days off and they have to come in, that's when I have to pay them for there's their days off. They don't work 36 hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and have to be in court on Tuesday.
Yes, that's one of the things that you and I talking of concerning is it's different than the city as far as we're a fluctuation town, so you can go, this town can grow from 30,000 to 100,000 and Friday, Saturday, and then it goes back to 30. But just from a strategy of law enforcement standpoint, so I think we're going to do help on that. We'll have to do it.
I appreciate it. Like I said, y'all know more than I know on how fast this county's growing. I mean, it's unreal. We were just talking to the lady that manages the Walk Apartments out there. This is a new apartment this time for us. They got 240 something apartments, 500 something beds. That's 500 something kids that we just added to the county. It's not in this. A lot of our apartment complexes are not in the city. In the MA, Ace 21. You go down Blackjack, all that's in the county. So we're picking up. Where our population of this county is 51,000 and some change, we're picking up another easy 10 to 15,000 students that's living with us in the county. So it's growing. On my next line item is 200,544 contractual services. I'm requesting a line item of 58,000, and that's going to be the internet for the cars, the computer system, which 365 is coming, internet for the gym. At the gym, we got to have camera system because we put a lot of our siege vehicles and vehicles down there behind the lock gate, but we need cameras down there. And also, we have been very blessed, and I'm glad. I think Sheriff Manning had a good report, and I also do with the city, Chief Ballard, but animal control. We are getting so many more animal calls in the county, and I think I got Chief Maurice Johnson to contact the city, and we're trying to work up something where if we get out in the county, we have no way to haul an animal back. And we call the city, if they're not busy, they come out in the county and help us, and we've never paid them a dime. You know, they put down what they're doing to help us. And I think what needs to be, if we call them out there, they're out there for 2 hours, we ought to give them 2 hours of pay to put, because they're using city gas, they've got their personnel, payroll coming out to the county to help us. And we'll still be way better off than trying to get animal control ourselves for the county. And that will fall under contractual services. 200,613, that's law enforcement. We've got a budget of 17,500. I'm asking for to be up to 25,000. That's going to be buying gun belts and accessories. If we get the extra deputies that I'm asking for, they got to have the tools to work with. 200,671 gasoline. We had 100,000. I'd like to go to 120. Because if we get the extra deputies, we're gonna need the extra gasoline. And you know, one thing about us, we still gotta patrol these roads. And I want the guys out patrolling these roads, I want them to be seen, and we can keep down a bunch of stuff in the county that we don't need. Line item 2674, lubrication, oils and grease, we at $2,000 now, I'm asking to go up $1,500 to $3,500. We have mechanics there that save us a little money, help them with the vehicles. Line item 675, antifreeze, we have $500, I'd like to go to $1,000. 680, tire and lubes, we're sitting at 10,000, I would like to go to 15,000. The set of tires are not cheap now, but we run these roads, we have the flats, and we tear a tire up, get something new road. Uniforms, we at 15,000 now. I asked to go up 5,000 to 20,000. That's for the, if we get the new guys, that's to give everybody a uniform and make sure that we got the money to replace the uniforms and that stuff. The only thing that I need to change that y'all got earlier is 915. I was asking for $100,000 for 2 Durangos, but I'm really gonna need, if I get 5 deputies, I'm gonna need 5 vehicles, because we're running bad with our vehicles right now. We just fixed a 2010 Tahoe and a 2011. One of them had a broken motor mount, one of them needed a tune-up. We spent the money tuning them up, next thing you know, both of the transmissions has went out. They got, it's $4,000 replacing. The vehicles are not really worth that much to redo them. You know, it's a 2010, 2011. In investigations right now, we do have one new car up there. We got one with 30,000. We got one with 90. But we got 2 other vehicles up there, and one of them's got over 100,000 miles on it.
You're changing 915 to around $250,000?
Yes. Yep. And that goes, you know, all the deputies they do have take-home vehicles, which when they are called out, they're ready to go to work. They go, straight to where we need. And plus, it's not running 24/7. You know, trying to swap vehicles.
Sheriff, I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
And this is tied back to the money that's coming in from 360. When we put that expensive program into these old vehicles, are we gonna have to take that program out of that old vehicle pretty
If
fast?
you swap vehicles, yes, sir.
We need to have a conversation about how to get that out.
Office equipment, more than 5,000. It sounds like it's high, but I'll explain why. I'm going from 10,000 to 70,000, which that's going to be inventory, county inventory products. And that's when I was talking about the cameras in the county. That's why it went up to. I really just added. We was looking at 10 cameras because that's about around $6,000 a piece. That was 60, so that's where the extra 10,000. I mean, the 60,000 on the 10 comes from, because it's inventory equipment for the county. And then on the officers training, I want to go from 10,000 to 20,000. A lot of, we've got to stay up on the training, but a lot of it when we send guys to the academy in Jackson or Tupelo certified, when they make it through it, we get reimbursed the money. So it's around $4,000 to send somebody to the police academy. Once they graduate, the state gives us our $4,000 back. But with the new guys there, I was going up from 10,000 to 20,000. So wow. That's all I have. Anybody got any questions? and I'm so sorry. It's just something it's just something we got to do. We behind, and we got to catch up. Yes.
So in this budget up here on our darker sheet that you just passed out, Tony, do we need to add in where he was talking about those 3 vehicles? We need to add that. Okay.
Sean's gonna take care of the chief.
Any other questions for us here?
What what other kind of animal control would you keep the cities being involved? We got like that, we count it ourselves.
We get calls from dogs to snakes to rabbits. I mean, there's so many things. And we do have catch poles and we got stuff that we can do to smaller people. When we get a vicious animal, we got to call the city out there to come transport it, because we put it back in the car, we have a vehicle trailer when we get back to town. But the city, like I said, I'm very blessed the city has helped us so long, but I'm just thinking it's right. And Chief, do you remember the number that you come up with hourly? It wasn't much, but it was something to let them know, hey, we appreciate you coming out here. You coming out here to send, your people out and your gas and your equipment.
It was corresponding to our salary plus the overtime salary for weekends.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions for our sheriff?
I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much.
Appreciate you. Captain to the world?
Yes, sir.
Do us about the jail.
Yes, sir. So the majority of what I'm asking for in the jail on the increases is stuff is starting to break. We are starting to pay on repair and maintenance. 18,000 of it, of the request, is for building repair and maintenance service contracts. The same grouping of line items is also medical. I'm asking to go up 10,000 of that is medical. Obviously, if we don't use it, we don't use it. But this past year we had to pay for a back surgery. It's not looking like it's going to be any better this year coming up.
No, not me.
Not either one of y'all. Medical comes up, we get them in the condition that we get them in. We have to provide them medical care, and if a doctor orders it, doctor prescribes it, we have to get it taken care of. So that's where that increase is coming from. In the 600 section, we're asking them for an increase in the food budget for the inmates. I got a chef down there that does his absolute best to keep costs as low as possible. Obviously, everything is on the rise. I'm hoping that it will cover it. And then the other two things that I'm asking for is, we've booked in so far this year 1,471 people just in the 8 months. Obviously, football season has not even started. The guys are running down there, so I'm asking for 2 jail positions to put 1 on each of the day shifts. My night shift is doing okay right now, and then I'm also asking for an assistant jail admin guy. I work with the grants, I work with inventory, equipment, I'm working with a whole bunch of stuff. It would be nice to have somebody who could help out with helping to run the facility as well.
That'd be your assistant?
Yes.
Jail
Yes, sir.
admin?
Yes,
And the
sir.
2 jailers on the day shift?
On the day shift, yes, sir. 1 for each of the rotations.
Night shift's fine?
Night shift's doing okay right now.
Do you not have an admin?
With me.
You do all the
I do
grant
everything.
paperwork and all the work with D and
All of it.
pretty big budget not to have an admin. I mean, you say you do it all. You do all the administrative?
For all of the jail.
Really? How much is that position?
Not enough. 65 for the assistant, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, normally you have an executor and then you have an admin.
Yes, sir.
Something with a high stress situation like a jail. I thought you had an admin.
No, sir. And then finally we end up with, my guys did just last week alone 3,500 miles in transports. We are running anywhere from 3 to 7 transports a day. We go out of state, we're in Lowndes today, we're heading to Knoxville this week. We're putting a whole bunch of miles on 2 cars for 3 transport officers. I've got 3 transport officers and 2 vehicles, so I'm asking for the addition of a Durango as well.
Transport, like if somebody's going back to Louisiana, who pays for that to get them back to Louisiana?
So if they're going to Louisiana on their own, they pay for it, or If another agency's coming to get them, they pay for it. Now, if somebody that we are looking for on an indictment or something like that that's caught in Louisiana, we go down to Louisiana, pick them up and bring them back.
Okay, in Knoxville, like, I don't understand, like.
So
who pays
Knoxville, Lowndes, and Clay is in our judicial district. So we're running people now with Supreme Court rules and how long you have to get people here and there. We're using circuit court in all 4 counties when it's dealing with revocations and bench warrants and stuff like that. We ask for restitution on mileage. It is something that I'm sure we get 5% of. Simply because, I mean, it's ordered, but they're paying court fines, they're paying everything else. It's added in the court orders, but I can't say that, I'm not sure how much of that we actually get back.
So if somebody says you've got to bring somebody, you've got to bring them, and you don't get very rarely 5%. Right.
Taking consideration for the court or
Yes, and Chancery Court has blown up on commitments, and we drive down to Meridian, which is 90 miles away, to drive a prisoner 4 miles to the state hospital and then drive back 90 miles. We did that 4 times. I think in the last 2 weeks.
Need a dependable vehicle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One for the longer trips especially. Yes, sir. And that's all of mine.
Any other questions for Captain Wood?
And that's all included in your total?
Yes, ma'am.
If not, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Do we have any other department heads? I see, Mr. Pritchett, did you need to approach the board for?
Hope not.
Okay. Never know. Any other department head? If not, thank you all so much for, first of all, thank you all for what you do. You know, people don't have any clue about what it takes to do what you do. We appreciate it. And we're gonna do everything we possibly can to get you what your request is. We're gonna do all we can. Anything else for the board? If not, thank you all so much. Dee, are we gonna stay here and go over, or are we gonna reconvene and start going line item by line item? Well, I guess since it has been a long day, and I guess we just need to reschedule a time for Tony and Dee to start going over line item by line item with our budget, so we can try and get it prepared. So I guess this ends our budget workshop portion of the meeting.
Yeah, what are we talking about on the Tuesday, September 3rd at 1 o'clock for our next one?
Okay, yeah.
And we'll have the revenues at that time.
Okay.
Been working on those already.
We need a motion for Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
I'll be out of town that day, but y'all do it virtually out there. You got to call in.
Okay. You got the Cattlemen's Association that night too.
Yeah, I'm getting Baltimore. Oh yeah, I mean I can, but I won't have a problem. If you all doing it virtually, I can do that. So call me.
Okay. We got a couple of items on our agenda. First of all, do we have anything from our board attorney?
No, sir, I think I do have something to talk about under the supervisor.
Okay. Supervisor Trainer, we've got you down for discussion on the demolition of the Felix Long hospital building.
I think we gave Attorney Ladler, I think, is charge of doing research. And I think his suggestion was that we need to maybe discuss or you go before the Historical Preservation Board?
When he and I talked, let me give you the big picture. The big picture is, if we go before those boards and they say, look, we're going to tear the building down, and we're going to tear the building down, that's fine, we can do that, we can tear the building down without asking anybody. Here's the issue, the bigger issue you have. When we start asking for money, when we start making the request from the state or from the federal level for money, they're gonna ask us questions about historic district issues and things like that. Now, it's entirely up to this board how we approach this, but it's the hook in this. The only reason we're asking for permission to do anything is because we're gonna be asking for money in something. So he and I will get together and flesh that out further, and make certain that I'm completely understanding what that means. That doesn't mean that we won't get money, it just means that we may not. So that's the weighing in of some of this that we talked about. But I'll get with him again and make sure we're all on the same track.
Right, well, I thought the board kind of, what we talked about at the last meeting, that I don't think that getting the money for that building was the top priority. I'm sure it is a priority, but my concern was that we need to address the current situation of that building. And I just don't see where we're going to get any money. I mean, it may be something out there, but it's so competitive, we'll be the last to hear about it, and definitely won't get it. But I just think at this point, I'd like to see us go ahead and try to get permission to demolish the building.
I'll work on that and try to make certain that all of the, I would really like to try to find some money on the state level. I just don't want to get us in a situation where we're not able to for whatever reason. However, this is this county's building. And if this board tells me that go jump on a bulldozer, that's what we'll do. But the reality is I just want to make sure we're covering our bases.
And so unless you all want to, I say renovate, unless you all want to, of course now we don't have an architect firm, we got to start all over. Is the assignment of the board to renovate that existing building? But we got to do something with it, we got to take it down and we got to fix it. I mean, I don't think we can just sit there.
Something we need to let him figure out what we need to do about that.
I will do what you asked me to do. As a matter of fact, I think that flushing that out a little bit more, that's true, that whatever direction, because I agree with you, it doesn't need to sit over there anymore.
We pay an expense on the utility expense every month. And insurance.
It's costing us.
It's causing us to sit there.
Unless y'all want to take requests for proposals for some developer to look at a public-private partnership to maybe renovate.
That is potential. There's a potential there.
That's potential there. And we got to do something. We just can't.
That is potential, is what you just talked about.
Well, let's do some research on that, and maybe next time we come back and we can look at taking some requests for proposals. You know, maybe if Castleberry or somebody out there want to partner with the board and renovate it, let them kind of be the lead, and we can just do a public and private partnership. I have no problem with that. But we got to do something. We can't just let the bill sit over. Just think it's going to take care of itself. I'm so glad we got those individuals out there. I mean, man, because I mean that was very unsafe, I guess, unhealthy for anybody in that kind of group.
But I do hear what our attorney is telling us is as we move through this, we want to try and keep it to where we can request funding to help with that. So let's just look at it from all different angles.
Figure out our options.
Yeah. Okay.
One more.
Okay.
There was some discussion about the MOU that we did with the sewer system. I want to make certain that everybody's clear on what that means. The developer out there that's doing development on that side of town, it's irrelevant to our position as to the sewer system. And I'm glad they're out there. And I'm certainly not saying that we're not glad they're out there. But the MOU that we're putting together, that is the first step in us expanding our sewer system for the entire county. I've actually been able to get with the people out there that are over that. They understand that there's our game plan. What development that goes on out there, frankly, is irrelevant. We're not asking the city to accept anything. This MOU is just to put those pipes down for the time being. We're at least 2.5, 3 years out before sewer probably will be even in that system. So obviously, there's gonna have to be something that you know, it has to be gone to. But we're not asking the city to do anything that they would normally do. We're not asking the developer to do anything that they would normally do. We're just trying to get those lines put in the ground. The dynamic at play here, and the only reason I'm trying to get this over this timeline is to make certain that we can get the matching funds. This MOU has nothing to do with requiring the university to do anything, requiring the city to do anything. It's merely to get us in a position to where the $700,000 that we've allocated for that project can get matched. That's all this is about. We're gonna turn that into the MDEQ, make certain that they are okay with what we've got, but that has to be done before the end of this month. As long as we get that in, that extends our options to the end of this year. So I knew that there had been some questions about what that looked like, why we were doing what we were doing, and if that was going to contractually obligate us. I've also spoken to the sewer system. They are agreeing to give us a copy of the audit that they're working on. We'll have that together so that the board will have something in hand to be able to look at that when we're partnering with some of this as we move forward. But the future of this, as far as I can see for the county, is that's the first step in us moving for a county-wide sewer system. And I think that is the intent of this board. I'm not trying to say that's Rob's intent. I think that's what y'all's intent. So if y'all have any questions, I'm glad to try to answer it. We do have some gentlemen here that's willing to answer any questions that you might have. I just wanted to make certain that y'all are comfortable with what we're doing and how we're moving forward.
I just want to make sure clear, you know, that we're doing infrastructure, you know, for the reasons already given, you know, out there. But the county is not, you know, on the hook per se or anything else to put any leverage on the city, on MSU, on anybody. We are just giving the money for the infrastructure.
Correct. That's it.
That's correct.
So if there's any other questions out there, I'll be happy to try to flush out. But I don't want y'all to be in the idea that there is a other deal going on other than that.
So this money has to be allocated by, has to be spent by when?
The money doesn't have to be spent. Well, to be honest with you, they'll probably extend the period in case. DEQ told me that once we got this lined up and they've approved all of our MOUs that we're doing, that some of these timelines are meant to be so that we know it's spent. Once these MOUs are signed and we've sent, the money's spent on that. It's just a matter of maybe us. But keep in mind, we're keeping the money in our account. The Golden Triangle Planning and Development are administering, and the project people are putting it together as far as the sewer system. So and their engineers. Who are your engineers? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting their names.
He's not at all.
And who is that?
Neil Schaefer is the engineer.
Neil Schaefer is the engineer. So we've got, everything is in line, and it will have the proper things. And I asked MDEQ, just for my own sanity, how do y'all look at this stuff to make sure that we're covering ourselves? They said, no problem. If there's going to be so many eyes on this stuff as it goes through, you guys will have anything. That was basically his words.
So Neil Schaefer is going to actually be overseeing the.
He's the engineer for the project. So I just want to make certain that we're all on the same page and that it's as clear as it possibly can be, especially for people out there that take the money.
Mr. Brossoff, do you have a time frame when you can get that audit to us?
It's not complete.
Has there ever been an audit?
Yes, sir. There are audits in the county administrator's file cabinet.
Okay. Do you know what the latest one was?
No, I don't. But every time we get one, we always bring one to her.
Okay.
In the past, so they're down there.
Next 3 months? Couple of months, maybe?
Hopefully, in not too distant future, we're going to get it completed. Because we got over $750,000 of federal money in FY23 and 24, we have to do these big audits that the federal government requires. So
they're pretty extensive audits. They're not just check the numbers.
So we can do a board order and basically ask for that audit by the first year.
Yeah, we have to provide that audit to USDA Rural Development.
Yes, we want to provide it to the county.
Yeah, and we do.
Because we are subject to a single audit anytime we get a grant for $500,000. So I don't think it's prudent that whoever we give money to, over that amount, that we, ask for an audit also.
I think it's raised to $750, but it still requires a big audit. Yeah,
And
so
that money's double, that's 1.4, so we're well in the game, that's up there.
the audit's about $15,000, by the way.
You wanna make a motion to request an audit by the first of the year?
Yes.
A
I'd like to
motion
make-
by Supervisor Little, I'll second that, we received the audit from the East Wastewater, Sewer District, the first of the year. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
I talked to the engineers last week and told them what was in the bill. And they told me when they were sent a $30,000 check, they were sent a letter that says don't do anything until you hear back from us. So I guess the board attorney's gonna need to write Neil Schaefer a letter and tell him to proceed. Or they won't do anything.
You and I talk tomorrow, I'm sure.
Okay, so we need to copy the MOU and we need that to proceed. Rob actually has a copy of the specs and the drawings, and that's what's gonna be bid.
The MOU was approved last Monday, correct?
We gotta get, two more signatures on this, and be ready. We'll get them.
As soon as we get it, I get it with the county signature, I'll file it with ARPA, its staff, MDEQ, and then I'll update it when we get all the signatures. But I
Okay.
wanna get something.
County signatures.
We gotta get it moving, we're running out of time.
You and I will be talking tomorrow, right?
Thanks.
That's all I have.
Okay. Anything else, anything coming out of District 4? Anything coming out of District 1? Anything coming out of District 2? Anything coming out of District 5?
Oh, well, in the last meeting, we talked about a teacher road extension. That's gonna be a nice project, but there are some homeowners along that pathway that is interested in being able to get some kind of access to their property for the first time, because it's a waterway that separates them from being able to get on their property. So I'd like to see us get some information from those landowners and submit that request to whoever's involved with it to consider those landowners when that road comes through.
Mr. Pritchett, who would those landowners submit that request to?
You'll get the information to me, I'll get it to Oliver and to their engineers, staff.
Okay.
Is that it for District 5? Nothing out of District 3?
While I'm thinking about it, I wanna bring this up, I just thought about it. Lowndes County has built if you get a chance and you ain't got nothing to do, and you come down Hickory Road, go down Rachel Turner Road and hit Canal Road and come back to 45. Lowndes County has built a bridge down there, and the bridge they built, they hauled a lot of dirt through Octavia County to get that bridge built. Very nice bridge. And I have made contact with the Board of Supervisors, hoping the engineer to determine how much damage was done to the road when all that dirt was hauled. So if we don't have any action by the next meeting, I may have to get some official action to see if we can get some kind of response from them on what they plan to do to help us to alleviate those problems that's on the bridge. And I wouldn't have such a problem until I got a constituent that called me and told me to go down there and look. If y'all get a chance, y'all ride down Canal Road.
Is it in bad shape?
No, you just ride down there. Just ride down Canal Road and look at it. You been there lately? And when I told her, I said, man, y'all got me on a pickle. Y'all right in and look at it.
Well, you got the bridge going on Hickory Grove on the left, that's the brand new work. That's not where you're talking about.
No.
Where's Canal at?
You go down, here Curtis Chapel, turn on Watson, make a right on Rachel. Rachel Turner runs all the way to Lowndes County, and it turns into Canal. Canal Road will come out on 45 just to the north of Cecil Road.
Are they not crossing jurisdiction to work on something and it's there? Lowndes County talking about.
Oh, it's fixed now. The bridge is complete. It's completed. But they hauled a lot of dirt in through our side trying to repair the bridge.
You don't have to get jurisdiction lines across and haul over certain.
Well, I mean, you know, it would be the same. Say, for instance, if we were going to work on Rachel Turner Road and we wanted to haul a lot of material in, I would come right down Canal because it's got a bridge in there that's going to last for 1,000 years. You just go out there and look at it. So, you know, eventually it will be improved out there, but we may have to use that road. But I'm hoping that we won't have to do anything. I'm hoping that we'll be able to make some contact and get whatever relief we need. May even have to involve state aid engineer, try to see about what we can do. But I just want to let y'all know about that, just in case we need some assistance.
Mr. Pritchard.
Just a reminder, we're gonna have a meeting here on September 24th, starting at 10 o'clock. We're gonna take bids on Sturgis Westmont Bridge, Crawford Bridge, County Lake Slurry Seal, and Williams Road. 4 projects on the 24th, starting at 10. It'll be 10, 10:30, 11, and 11:30.
Repeat that date now. That date.
September 24th. They're advertised now.
We've got some bids that came in the office. I don't know if that's part of those bids or some other ones.
Would be all early for it to be ours, but Sharon, D, if y'all need me to take a look, see what they are, I'll be happy to.
Yeah, that something came in, it looked like bids, I don't know. Are you expecting bids on any other project?
Those 4 what we got out now, they just advertised first, for the latter part of last week, so I'd be surprised if they were on.
Okay. Anything else?
Anything on ERBR?
We were told today that we might hear something tomorrow.
Okay.
And I've just been holding my breath.
But we've been told before.
That's right.
Good deal. We need to
Make a
set.
motion, we stay adjourned to the 3rd, I guess.
Sounds good.
That's a Tuesday, right? That's
That's
Tuesday.
right,
That is
that's,
Tuesday.
Labor Day.
Yeah, Tuesday after Labor Day.
Yeah. Make motion, that we set our meeting date for Tuesday, September 3rd at 9 a.m. Need a set.
No, we're gonna come back.
Got another one
We gotta
at
have
1.
that 9 o'clock. The board meeting.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you all so much. It's been a long day. My voice is about to give out.